please be praying for her. And also, we want people to come in and we just want to just love on them and be so hospitable towards them. And we need a whole bunch more people just to serve on the day, 45 minutes. So here's the sign-up board. That'll be out at the door. Whose job is it to take it out before everyone leaves? Jono, is that your job? No. We'll have that on the board as you're leaving if you want to physically sign up. But also, Stella, I think we've got, after the service, can you put up the electronic version of that with the QR code? You can sign up on your phone. We really want to love people well, and we need a whole bunch more people. Today is the last day that you can sign up to help, and we're going to get the rosters happening on tomorrow. So, yeah. Let's go. Let's do it. Thanks heaps, church. Okay, so kids ministries. Hey, about a month or so back, we had a kids Sunday. And part of that kids Sunday is we surveyed the entire church, man, woman, and child. We surveyed. And what we wanted to do is we wanted to get a snapshot of what our church feels about kids. What's our heart for kids here at the Wave? And the results of that were amazing. I read through them and it took ages actually, because so many people did it and they had these really comprehensive answers. And so as I'm reading it, far out, it was really hard not to tear up, because person after person after person in our church, heart beats for children. And it's an incredible thing to be a part of a community that has that, and it was super encouraging. I've printed them out up the back wall over there, underneath, above Dr. Annie. You can have a read of that. Don't read the whole thing; it'll take ages. But have a browse. Also, I've popped it in the foyer out there as well. They're the answers, and what is abundantly clear is that our church loves kids. Our church sees children and values children, and you'll see that if you read that snapshot over there. You know, there can be like this perception in churches sometimes of the older generation. They don't like change. They don't want to do this. They want to keep things the same. That is not the case for our church. No way. When I read the responses from our older generation, time after time, it's like, we want to see the kids more. We want to have more cross-generational interaction. We want to, don't worry about the noise. It's awesome. Same with our young adults. Like, our young adults just have this maturity and understanding of the value of the whole family of God. And so I'm reading this stuff and I'm just like, our church is rad, They're awesome. And then I've read the responses from the kids. Man, our kids just have such a heart to serve God. They just want to please their Heavenly Father. So have a read of that. So we took all this and we summarised it into the three. If you can go to the next slide. The main goals that we have as a church for our children, they're not surprising. They're kind of the big ticket items. Number one, we want our kids to develop a personal relationship with Jesus. We want our kids, number two, to know the Bible and to develop a love for God's word. We want our kids to grow their prayer life and to learn to hear God's voice. We want them to experience the presence of God and to grow in worship. We want them to be given a chance to use and develop their gifts and abilities. And we want them to make good Christian mates. That's what we want for our kids. So we in Kids Zone, we've got a really important job, because it's our job to represent your heart for kids out there on a Sunday morning. It's our job to represent God's heart for kids out there on a Sunday morning. It's a big responsibility. So what we've done is we've taken your responses and we've formed them into a mission statement for our children's ministries that hopefully encapsulates your heart. It's something that's going to hold us to what is important in every single decision that we make. And so this is our mission statement: raising a generation that loves and reflects Jesus. A generation that loves God's presence, loves God's word, loves God's family, and loves the lost. Let it be, Lord, hey? Let it be for our kids, man. Next year, we're kicking this off by going after one key foundation of this, a key piece in the puzzle for our kids loving Jesus and loving the lost. And that's for them to first love church, to love the family of God. So this is our vision for 2024, is for every child to love belonging to the Wave family. I'll say it again. There's a bit in it. For every child to love belonging to the Wave family. You know, in Kids Zone alone, we have 52 kids in the life of our church, plus a bunch more that we've kind of got loosely associated with us. 52 kids. But if I was to say the second half of this year, on average on a Sunday morning, we would probably have about 15 kids in Kids Zone on a Sunday, give or take, but around 15. So 1 in 4 weeks would be considered regular church attendance now by many of our children. And this isn't about the numbers, right? It's about individuals. When I look through the precious list of those 52 kids, I see, that one, he's anxious and finds it hard to come. This one has like behavioural issues because they're really unsettled. Another one maybe doesn't feel like they've got any mates. Someone's disconnected. And I'm going through this list. And then there's a whole bunch of them that, man, like they're ready to explode for Jesus, you know. They're ready to be given opportunity and to grow. And I look through that list and I go, man alive, like we've got to do something with these kids, man. They're so important. Something intentional we've got to go after. And by the way, like this isn't a crack at parents at all, hey? Like parents, man, it's a hard work raising kids these days. I know it. I know it's challenging. And so our heart as a church is not to criticize parents, is to get alongside and support and love. And what our heart is, we don't want there to be any barrier on our end at church, right? There might be stuff going on with the kids, but here we want to have the doors flown open wide and welcome them and in with open arms into our fellowship. So parenting is hard. COVID's had an effect on kids. There's ever increasing time pressure for families. But we know that it is key. We are not going to have a generation that loves God and loves his word and loves his presence if we don't have kids that love the family of God. It's just not going to happen. And so that's what we're going to go after. They're going to enjoy being in God's house next year. So that's our goal, and we're going hard after it. This is how it's going to look like, guys. This is what we're excited about. What it's going to look like is I, as the children's pastor, I'm going to be out there every week next year with those kids. And I am so excited about this. I'm chomping at the bit. Because what we want to do is we want to provide that consistency for the kids in the program. So all kids respond really well to consistency of like rules and rhythms and in a program. Kids do really well with that. But more importantly to that is we want to provide consistency of relationship with our kids. If in 2024 your kids will be known, they will be known. If they're there at Kids Zone, we'll rejoice with them and celebrate with them. If they're not there, we will know. We will know. And if they're not there for a few weeks, we'll be reaching out and chasing them down. The plan is we'll plan events to connect them in. They'll be prayed for consistently next year. Hey, we're going to go after these kids in prayer. If you want to be a part of a Kids Zone prayer team, come and see me because we're going hard after prayer. We'll know the kids, man. We'll know if they like Pokemon or footy or horse riding. We'll know. We'll know if, we'll know the kids. And we'll know how they learn best. If they've got special needs, we'll know. The kids will be known, just like Jesus knows them. And this is offense, guys. Like, we're going to be going after these kids, hey? We're going to be going after their friends. If they invite a friend around, what a privilege to be able to say, in my position, to say, hey, thanks so much for coming to church. I'm going to be here the same time, the same place next week. I want you to come back. I want you to come back. But that is not the most exciting thing. That's only half of it. The really exciting part is that we have a vision to put someone from our church congregation on, employ them half a day a week to do exactly the same thing with the other age groups. So in Kids Zone, we have 2 age groups, upper primary and lower primary. And what we want is there to be one person for each of those groups that can give them that consistent relationship that they can build their whole church experience around. That's the vision that we have. So that all kids, every single one of those kids has a person that knows them and is going after them and is praying for them and caring about them. So how that's going to work is that position is going to be for 12 months only because we don't want to have that ongoing disconnection from church. So that what the vision is that every 12 months we've got a new person that we can come in and we can invest in them in leadership, in ministry, and we're going to grow because we need so many more leaders in the church. And so this is a wonderful opportunity to invest in a person, to grow them in ministry. That's what we're excited about. So if that sparks anything in you, you're interested, you have questions, come and see me. I want to talk to people about this. I want to share the vision one-on-one with people about that. You might be a person that just wants to grow in ministry. You're just thinking, I want to serve the Lord for all my days. Come and see me. This is a great opportunity to grow. You might be a parent that is just passionate about your kid and the idea of investing into your children's cohort, their friendship group for 12 months, maybe that sparks something in you. Come and see me. Maybe you're retired and you've got a whole bunch of experience over your life with kids and you think, you know what, I might be able to use that experience to invest in the church, in this cohort of kids. Come and see me. It's open to all. Awesome. We'll give you more information about how to apply and where we're going to go with that, and more detail in the coming weeks. But that's what we're going after next year, for every child to love belonging to the Wave family. Awesome. Thanks, guys. Appreciate you guys. Elicia, come on up. She's going to share more. I'm going to thank you. I'm back to Christmas play practice. Pray for me.
Oh, we will pray for you. Christmas is a good time. Bless you, Stu. Hey guys, my name is Elicia and I have the privilege of being the treasurer of our church if you haven't met me before. So practically, how does this work? Yeah, as a family, we're a family, a church family. Sometimes we need to have conversations around our giving and what this looks like. Before we start that, what I would say is that if you're coming to this church but you're not quite walking with Jesus, or maybe the Wave Church isn't your home yet, what we would say is that we have a different expectation of our guests at our home than we would say for my kids. Yeah? My kids have to do the dishes. They don't get a choice. Our guests are not required to. Yeah. So as a church family, we give so that people like you can be here. Yeah, that's just what we do. So as a family, practically, how do we support the vision that not only Stuart has, but our elders and leadership do as well? And so that's what I want to share with you today. We are talking about being on the offensive, like spiritually, practically, with our kids, and financially. So how can we do this? I love to break things down to bite-sized chunks. So when Stu came to me and said, okay, we've had this vision, this is what the elders are seeing, what can we do? I'm like, tell me what you want, let's give this a crack. And when I looked at it, it's like, you know what, we need probably around $25,000 per year for each of these positions. That would cover us for what we need. Now, wages are consistent, for most of us who are employed or work for yourselves, we know that being able to be paid regularly is important. So what we are looking for what we're asking of you guys is to prayerfully consider your giving for 2024. There's going to be no kind of call to action today. There's an FPOS machine available, but it's always available, so it's no different to any other Sunday. But this is really the conversation with our family about giving consistently or having a look at our giving for 2024 and seeing what's possible. So I'm like, okay, let's break this down to bite-sized chunks. So we've got around 400 people that are a part of the life of the church. So let's just say that we had 100 people who had the capacity to give an extra $5 a week to the church. That would give us around $26,000 extra to be able to bring on board one person to support Stu in Kids Zone. If we had 200 people who had the capacity to be able to give an extra $5 a week, that would give us, next one, $52,000, which would give us our 2 people. Now, just because I'm a little bit bold when it comes to this stuff, I'm like, what would happen if if we had 300 people give an extra $5 a week, it would give us $78,000. So what this means is that we would be able to do some more practical stuff in terms of expand some wages for an admin person to be able to relieve some of the pressure on Jono and help out with some stuff. But today's conversation is about how we can support our children's ministry. Today would normally be set aside for our budgeting conversation, which is prepared and ready. But with this as well, we wanted to give the church the opportunity to be able to say yay or nay. Yeah, and we need to be able to practically figure this out, and we want to be able to have the right data. So and also what we're asking of you, it's completely anonymous. Yeah, we understand. I live in the current economic climate, run a business, so we understand what it is that we're asking. And every time I thought, nah, not the right time to have the conversation, God went, yeah, actually it is. So I believe that something amazing will happen. You want to go to the next one? So we're in a second, I'm going to ask my two lovely men, James and Tobes, to hand out some piece of paper in a sec. And it's going to have 4 questions, because what we want to do is allow you time and space to prayerfully consider the giving for 2024. And so what this will look like is, yes, I have capacity to be able to give an extra $5 a week across 2024. Great. The next one would be, I'm actually able to increase my giving by more than $5 a week. Great. Maybe let us know what the increase is, because again, it'll help us with our figures and numbers and budgeting. Number 3 is I'd like to give a one-off amount. We've been really blessed in this church over the last however long we've been going. I don't think we've ever had a conversation like this, really, or we haven't for a very long time. But people have been in a position to be able to do this, and it has allowed us to do things like put in our prayer room, upgrade some of our facilities and things like that. And number 4 is I'm actually not able to increase my giving right now. And what I want to say to you is that we bless you and we love you if that's the box you need to tick. Because I genuinely believe that others give so that you can be here. And we have absolutely no intention of, making it harder than it currently already is, right? All we need to know is, can we do this or not? And if we can, rock on. And if we can't, that's okay. We'll figure out something else. Yeah, but as a church, we want to give you the time and space and the opportunity. We'll have our budget conversation in Feb when we've collected all this. Can I get you guys to hand those out if that's all right? So they've got 2 ways we can do this. Number 1 is my lovely men are handing these out to be able to take with you, so you can pray about it, see what you're able to do. Probably take on parcel. You got it, Tobes. And we've also got electronically as well. If you want to just flick to the next one for me. So we've got a form there. It's all completely anonymous. Yeah, this is between you and God, and we're just being faithful in asking the question. And it's really between you and God and what is possible, and we just need to know. So if over the next couple of weeks you could bring those back, the offering box is at the help desk, and our beautiful help desk people will be able to help you out so you can pop it in there. And we just need to know, is it a goer? Is it not? Either way, God's good and you guys are awesome, and thank you so much for the opportunity to be able to share.
Thanks, Elicia. Thank you so much, Stewie, who's out there, who shared as well. He articulated it way better than I'm going to do. It is a vision that we have for our kids. And we don't normally talk about money as a church. I probably could count on that hand how many times we have, and I've been in the church a long time now. And it's for me when Stuart has shared with me, because I've known for quite a while now, this vision that's been bubbling away with him. I've seen the emotion that comes with that, the dedication that he has for this ministry. And as a church, we're super blessed to have a Stuart Jamieson in our midst. I truly believe that. He comes from a school teacher background. We are super blessed to have him in our church. And he has this vision. It comes at a cost. So Stuart will be out there every single Sunday. He won't be in here. That's a cost for him personally. But he's willing to do that because he believes in what God